Yeah. And then in terms of licensing, registration, how does it happen in Nigeria to ensure that you ensure that all women at least have their licenses, updates, no one is falling out of practice because they don't have a license or their license has expired or they're in a disciplinary hearing, or are these some of the incentives that the Women Association of Nigeria does to ensure that as a collective, as women in architecture, you're moving together. Nobody is stopped from practicing because they don't have a license, or no one is stopped from practicing because their projects are poor quality, they're not meeting the municipality regulations. How are you doing it in Nigeria?
What we normally do, after you graduate, that's after 2 years, you're supposed to have your registration. After you got your registration as architect, then you can start practicing with your own practice license. But some people they can have their principal, they can work under somebody, or you can have a friend that you finish and you have registered, that kind of a thing. Then you look at the drawing. If you can assist, then you can now stamp the drawing for her for submission. I know in most cases nowadays, we normally encourage our female architects so that they get registered as soon as possible. That we normally, when we say, wow, if I see you say, tell me you're an architect, are you registered? No, you can't be. Just make sure that you register, then we'll help you how you get registered, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We really
And then
encourage
does your association follow up on the ladies through the different stages of their career? Because when we just graduate, we are still young, we're energetic, and then as we get into our 30s, we get into our 40s, we get into our 50s. Sometimes along the way we fall off because we think now we we can't continue. Does your association help to hold the hand of sisterhood and say we have
right
to
from the
continue?
school, right from the school, we encourage the students, female architects. In fact, sometimes in our annual program, if not because of this situation we are now in all over the world, the COVID, we used to visit a lot of schools of architecture, then discuss with the female architects, okay, this is how you. In fact, we even used to give them award at the end of the, our AGM, we make competition from the different schools, who's on this area, that we're going to have a competition for the students. Then we give scholarship award. The best student will get the scholarship award or a token, that kind of a thing. But because of this problem, about 2 years now, we did not visit any school of architecture. But by God's grace, next year we'll do that. If there is at least if the COVID is at least okay now.
Okay, because what we want to see in Africa as a continent, we want to see that all the women in architecture, no one falls off the treadmill. We all go through, whether as you come out of graduate school, as you start as an intern architect, as you go into your graduate architect, as you get the training, as you become your independent architect with your own practice, as you go into your senior citizen years, we want to see that there is a steady improvement and increase in the numbers and the quality of women in architecture. So as an organization, what we're doing is that we are ensuring that we keep the sisterhood going in all the African countries to ensure that as women in architecture, we are seen to be at the front of the game, not at the back of the game. When we look at the leaders of our Architecture Institute, we want to see more women taking up those leadership positions, because when they do that, then we begin to raise more generations of women in architecture. So hence, that's why we wanted to connect with you today to learn from your organization in Nigeria, because we know Nigeria has probably one of the highest number of women architects in Africa.
Yeah.
so that we connect with you and learn with you and see some of the principles you're using and any lessons that you want us to learn. In conclusion, Architect Hawu, what would be your message to all women in Africa, all women in the architectural practice in Africa? What would be your advice?
My advice is like, we have to be off and doing. We can't be lazy, and we have to participate in every activities in architecture. Not that, wow, this is we can't go, or we can't, that kind of a thing, our thinking.
Yeah.
If there is anything, activities in architecture in the country, let us all go and participate and see where we can key in. But if we didn't go, we don't know what is happening. That's why you see in most cases the men dominate a lot of position in the institute. So, but by going there, you see, no, we cannot agree, or we cannot. It has to be 10, 20, 30, or 30, 40, or 60, that kind of a thing. But let us
Exactly.
yeah. So let us participate in everything in the architecture, this industry. So that's my advice. Let us be part. Yeah, let's participate seriously.
And would the Women Association of Nigeria be open to partnering with other countries' institutes of architecture if called upon?
Yeah. Hello?
Hello? Would the Women Architects Institute of Nigeria be open to partnerships with other architecture associations in other African countries?
Of course, yes. Even in other organizations, like now in Nigeria, we have professional women. In that professional women, we all have everybody there. So talk less of all over the world. We can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Architect Hawu, for taking our call and for making the effort to connect with us. Even when you had to be in the traffic, that is the woman of architecture we want to see, who gets onto the call no matter where you are. And it's been a privilege to have you on the call. Expect our call again to connect with you.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, because today we've connected. Today we've connected with you alone. Next time we're going to connect with you with all other African countries so that we have a joint discussion. Thank you so much, Architect Hawu. It's been a pleasure to have you on the call. My name is Jennifer from the Innovative Architects Women Association. And good night from all of us around the world. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Bye-bye.